Alright, so for this video I wanted to go over my personal camera rig that I use for video projects. When I was first starting out in video, this is something that was always really confusing for me in terms of what I should use to build up the camera rig and the components that I should buy. Hopefully I can help you figure out the gear that you need in order to build up your camera rig so that you don't have to waste any money or time. So specifically in this video, I'll go over my current camera rig, the pros and the cons to that, and what you might want to consider if you are looking to acquire this gear. But going beyond the applications that you'll see for this video, there's a lot of things that you can do with a camera rig. You can attach batteries like V-mount batteries so that you can power everything that you have on your rig with that battery. You can systematically add weight to the rig so that it is optimized for handheld footage. You can add different handles to make it more comfortable. And then if you are looking to specifically just utilize manual focus, you can add a focus puller. So there's a lot you can do with it, but I'm gonna be talking about mainly monitoring and audio for this video. All right, so let's take a general look at the rig that I'm using for video right now. So right here I have the Atomos Ninja 5. I think it's 5. I always mix up V and 5, so if you know, let me know in the comment section below. I have the Canon R5 right here. I have a standard small rig top handle and the original small rig cage that came out for the R5 and the R6. So for audio, I'm using the Rode lav mic right here, and this is perfect for interviews. On this side, I am using the HDMI clamp that came with the Canon EOS R5, and that's helpful to make sure that people don't bump into your camera and potentially destroy your HDMI port, because the Canon EOS R5 and R6 use micro HDMI, which is not super durable. Okay, so starting with the Ninja 5 right here, I utilize that for a few different reasons, but the main reasons are that I want better exposure monitoring tools than the histogram that's included in the mirrorless camera. So you get things like false color and the waveform monitoring, which are really helpful in getting a more precise reading of your exposure. Specifically, when we're talking about the R5 and the R6, the Ninja 5 is really helpful in mitigating some of those overheating issues. So you do get longer recording times if you're shooting in the high quality 4K setting on the R5. And on the R6, you actually get unlimited 4K 24 frames per second recording if you are using it with the Ninja 5. And finally, the biggest reason I would say that I use the Ninja 5 with the R5 is that it is really nice for clients to be able to look at a larger monitor when they are reviewing the footage on set. I might as well throw out some of the other benefits for the Ninja paired with the R5, and one being that you can get past that 30-minute record limit. So if you are live streaming and recording at the same time, you don't have to worry about your camera having to stop at 30 minutes. You can just keep going with the Atomos Ninja 5. And also, if you're looking to record C-Log, you can get around those H.265 files that are really hard to edit on a lot of computers, even modern computers, and you can just record in ProRes, which is great for editing. Okay, so for audio, I usually switch between the Rode Link, which is a lav mic, and like I said, that's great for interviews, or I am using the Rode Video Pro mic. So I keep it really simple, nothing fancy, but those are sufficient for the types of projects that I take on right now. What I do is I just hook up those microphones to a cold shoe mount right here on the side of my camera. But that is the cool thing about creating a camera rig, is that you can really individualize your camera and build it up to your own personal needs. So talking about the actual cage that I'm using on this camera, I'm using a small rig cage meant for the Canon EOS R5 and R6, and I actually acquired this cage when I had the R6. It's cool that it fits both of them. I believe the model number is 2982. The cool thing about this cage is that it actually comes with a little tool right here to disconnect the cage from your camera. So it's super convenient to have right there, and it's connected with a magnet. So I feel like I'm definitely not going to lose it. If you can see right here a little bit closer, the top handle that I'm using right here is connected with these screws, and same with this swivel mount right here. It's connected to the top handle with some screws. So these are both small rig products, and I will get into those in a little bit. So specifically, this setup was created with the intent to spend the least amount of money that I could, because small rig products, I would say, are generally affordable. There are trade-offs though if you are going with the cheaper equipment. I would say the major trade-off is going to be convenience. So when I showed you the screws here and the screws at the swivel mount right here, those take time to set up and break down. So, and it all adds up, especially if you're taking on a job where you are shooting video and taking pictures. Having a setup like this is not convenient, and it is something that is going to be a really big hassle. If you are thinking about acquiring this specific cage, I would definitely recommend going with a NATO rail that goes right on top of the cage, and then using a top handle that has that NATO rail adapter to it. That way, if you need to take pictures, you can just slide this top handle off with the monitor and you're pretty much ready to go. But that being said, the issue with this cage right here is that, I'm gonna try to get out of the way, the bar right here really gets in your way of being able to access any of these top buttons, but especially the shutter button right here. So this is not a good cage for hybrid shooting. I've tried to just adjust my hand position and take pictures with it on anyways, and it's super uncomfortable. And I have bigger hands, so I thought I'd be able to get away with it, but it definitely doesn't work. So I wanted to show you a different product by Small Rig that just came out, and it looks like it's going to be a lot more helpful if you are a hybrid shooter. So let's take a look at that right now. Alright, so I wanted to show you guys the setup that I'm going to be moving towards, and this is the Small Rig Black Mamba kit for the EOS R5 and R6 if you have that camera. So the cool thing about this cage is that it's made out of carbon fiber, so it's going to be lighter than the previous cage, and the primary reason that I'm getting it is that you have 100% access to the top buttons of the camera. So that's going to be really important when I am switching between photography and video, because the way it is now with the current cage is that I can't really access that shutter button, so it's really difficult to switch from photography to video. So this is the top of the cage right here. It's got a nice design, I really like it. It does have the wrist straps and shoulder straps for anything that you might use. I specifically use Peak Design stuff because I like their products. And it comes with the HDMI clamp, which is really nice because, you know, the R5 and R6 use micro HDMI, which is not very durable. It's kind of flimsy, so having that extra layer of protection is sort of absolutely necessary with this camera. And yeah, so you have the quick switching, built-in Arca quick release plate compatible with the new DJI gimbals, which is a bummer because I have the first one, so that might be a reason why I have to get a new gimbal. I'm just kidding. And then we have the triple protection to prevent twisting here. So the on the current cage that I have, the two, I think it just had one here, and this primary screw, and that was enough. So it is nice they added an extra one. And yeah, that's it. I just wanted to let you know that I'm not sponsored by SmallRig. These are just products that have been helpful to me and are relatively inexpensive. So I'm just trying to share my experiences with you, so hopefully they can help you make a more informed purchase. I will have that new Black Mamba kit in the next week or so, so I am going to do a video on that, reviewing that product, and kind of showing you how that will fit into my workflow. So if you're interested in that, then definitely subscribe. All right, so I hope that this video was helpful to some people out there. If you have any questions, let me know, and I will talk to you in the next video. See ya.